Hello and welcome to IABM TV. Today I'm delighted to welcome back into the studio Jon Hilton, Sales and Marketing at Portapromt. Jon, welcome back to IABM TV.
Great, Ben, thanks very much.
So Jon, last year we spoke about Portapromt and about the business and everything. Can you just give us a quick update on what Portapromt do?
Yeah, I mean, we are a bespoke prompting business, that's all we do. Historically, we've been really more on the rental and managed service business, so operator and kit on production budgets. So a lot of this move from OPEX to CAPEX is something that we're doing already. The kit we make for ourselves, and a lot of the thinking, if it's good enough for us, and we know it is, and we'll do the Strictly Come dances and the Voice and the Jonathan Ross shows and the Russell Howards, then we should be able to sell it to clients on as well. So that's a big part of the model, and that's what we're trying to do, and essentially why we're here at IBC.
And so how's IBC been for you?
It's been a really good show, actually. I mean, it continues to be the flagship show for us in our calendar. It's always marked up in the diary. We've booked up for next year already. We've seen a number of sort of clients, a lot from obviously the broadcast space, but I think also what we are seeing is a number of new clients coming through, sort of new startups, new video producers. And now maybe we'll talk a little bit about it later as well, but I think there are opportunities outside of broadcast television, certainly in our conferencing and events business. I think that's quite interesting as well, as maybe some of the broadcasters start thinking about where diversity in their businesses go as well.
And so last year we spoke about the role that Portapromt play in the broadcast space, but you mentioned it there. So let's start with looking at the conference market. So what are these sort of opportunities there?
Well, again, it's a large market. It tends to be generally a rental market, so and it's quite seasonal. So if we take the UK, the first year I was at Portapromt through August, I was sitting there scratching my head, going, "Where the hell has the business gone?" But it's holiday season, so from the 1st of September, everything starts to rocket and so on. So we're back and forth to things like the Grosvenor and so on, and awards and events, dinners and stuff like this, sort of almost every day. But that's broadening out as well. So that event and conference business is sort of a nice little business. It tends to be mainly rental, so it's operator and kit. It tends to be run by production companies for clients, but it's certainly an opportunity that I probably wasn't aware of as much as I should have been when I joined the business. And it gives us a nice balance between our broadcast business and then, I say, other, if you like, irons in the fire, as other areas sort of maybe slow down or start up and so on. So it's nice to have that balance in the business.
And they're all starting to merge a bit, aren't they, with the crossover, as conferences have much better equipment in them.
I'm surprised. We always discuss, should we bring our motorised poles to IBC because it's a broadcast conference or an exhibition and so on. And every year we're constantly surprised by a number of broadcasts. We actually had a couple of Middle East chief engineers coming on going, we need this actually for the chief executive briefings and stuff like this. And you give them the cost that maybe an AV company might cough at, and they say, well, that's no problem compared to what we're putting into the studio. So I can actually see real business out of the last 4 or 5 days on that particular model, which I wasn't expecting. I think it's also interesting as we've seen IP come into broadcast, and we launched our IP software last year. We've launched at this IBC a new range of broadcast monitors, our premium and our super bright quasars. In fact, we've got a 32-inch monitor that we're going to monetize as well, made specifically for a show with Russell Howard. Russell has he needs a 32-inch for his eyesight, and it's an interesting balance because cameras hate the idea.
Screen. I mean, just looking at the one we've got, the one we've got at the moment.
We've got a 10-inch iPad rig here, for us, but the 32-inch is massive. But talent love it because it gives them time to express and think and so on. Cameras maybe aren't so keen, but as the weights have almost gone, the world of CRT is finished, long ago. So actually, we're not putting very many counterbalances on. So it's a sort of a stretch on that sense. But real opportunity there.
And so let's look at the corporate video production market then. Another one that's kind of on the periphery, if you like, but is becoming more merged.
I think, again, a lot of that driven with the advent of things like the tablet system that you've been using here. This, I suppose, is a corporate video tool in intents and purposes, if we're really honest with ourselves. And again, as the cost to distribute has also plummeted through the usual, the YouTubes, the Vimeos, all the online tools, the cost to produce is almost negligible. And I think it ties in, what I am interested in is the BAM model that you guys have done, because we fit clearly into the create aspect of that. I think that business model works, but that's not just a broadcast model as well. I think, again, as the point of cost has sort of come down, more opportunities to produce, but also people realising that the professionalism that is required, it's not just some boring old bloke like me rabbiting on. You actually need a proper story to tell, and to put some planning and scripting into that is going to give you a little more compelling content that hopefully people will watch.
Yeah. And so how have these two different areas, how have they opened up more opportunity for you as a company, and have they changed the way that you're thinking about things?
Well, I think it's simple. There is, I think, a lot of concern of, what does the broadcast model look like, and and you hear all the time on Netflix are commissioning this, but ultimately for a company like us that is tied in, using your BAM model into the create bit, the fact that the distribution may be different, it may not be the traditional terrestrial broadcast of the past. The fact that there is more and more content means actually there's more opportunity for prompting. More programs, more opportunity that prompting get into it. So it's that growing market, but it isn't all going to be live sport and the Jonathan Ross show.
Yeah.
Sorry, Jonathan.
And so, John, what do you think, what's coming up for you guys in the future? Where do you think you're going to go with all
I
this?
think definitely IP has a role to play. I think we're still getting very clear of what that is. So, for example, in our conference systems, we've actually structured a little bit of IP control. So with our motorised poles, we have we can store 16 different heights. So if you've got presenters of different, maybe someone who's only 5'2", another person who's 6'4", as they come on stage, you don't want them standing on a box and so on. So we've identified, or we've developed a little IP app that actually identifies in the script the height and so on of the person, and will automatically adjust that. So that's quite a neat little piece, and I say it's just an RJ45 connection in through a Cat5, Cat6
Again, saving
connection.
time, another
but
thing
it
that
saves
just
time
saves
and
someone
so on.
having to do it.
So it means the operator can actually be setting the poles back in the gallery or on stage. Just makes life easier and so on. I'll give you an example. 2 years ago with the Chelsea Player Awards down at Evolution, staging the round, most strange way that we've done things. It was fantastic, but it was 8 different poles in the round with different presenters and so on. So quite a challenging job. And part of the thinking for this bit of software that we've developed actually came from some of the feedback and working with the presenters there. So a lot of the stuff we do is, some comes from our own operators and so on, but a lot is feedback from production clients.
Which everyone seems to be saying, whilst I've been speaking to them throughout the show, that the relationship they're having with their customers or clients, or even partners as some of them have been calling them, has been so great for the feedback of ideas and development of products.
It's been fundamental to Portapromt since our development in the early 70s. I say we live and breathe prompting. And it's got to be based on feedback from production and from a lot of our own operators. That's what's actually driven our sort of a product development. Occasionally we have an inspirational idea as well ourselves, but it's only occasionally.
And so where can people find out more about all these products?
Well, portaprompt.co.uk is the website.
Are you going to be at any sort of shows or anything coming up, or showcasing it?
The UK, we will be doing the Kit Plus show in Manchester, so that will be our next sort of public outing.
And you have examples of all of these products that people can come and play with and see them?
Absolutely, and look at the website, give me a call. If you're in High Wycombe, pop in.
Okay. Excellent. Well, John, it's great to see you again. Thank you for joining us.
Pleasure. Great, Ben. Thanks very much.
You can find out more about all of these products and services at portaprompt.co.uk.